Hello guys, herzlich willkommen. Yeah, so welcome back. So in this video, we'll be learning how to introduce yourself. Yeah, one of the most important parts of your A1 speaking exam, that is sich vorstellen. Yeah, sich vorstellen bedeutet self-introduction. Yeah, so we'll be learning that along with some kleine W-Fragen. Yeah, we'll be learning some small W questions. Yeah, so let's get right into that. Okay, so let's start with W-Frage, and all the W-Frages we can combine them together to make a sich vorstellen. Okay, so let's first see what is a W-Frage. Okay, in Germany we can ask two types of question. Yeah, we can ask one with the W question, that will be a W-Frage, and also we can ask a Ja oder Nein Frage oder eine indirekte Frage. Yeah, so in a indirekte Frage you will not be using any of these W-Frage. That will be like was, wo, all those W questions. You will not be using that. You will be using the verb in the first position to ask the question. Okay, so we will not be looking into that right now, the indirect questions, but we'll be looking on to the W-Frages, yeah, with the W word questions, yeah, W question words. Yeah, so first let's list out all the question words and let's look at the meaning, and then we can look at the answers for the questions. Yeah, so W-Frage. So first let's categorize. Yeah, then we can learn it in a rhythm so we remember all the W-Frages. Yeah, so first let us learn was. Yeah, was bedeutet what. Was means what. Wann. Yeah, not when, it's wann. Yeah, wann bedeutet when. When. Ja, was, wann, warum oder warum, ja, warum, warum bedeutet why, why, ja, was, wann, warum, welche, ja, welche, welcher bedeutet which, which. Was, wann, warum, welche. Okay, we're going to learn it as it is. Yeah, say it with me. Was, wann, warum, welche. Then let us look at some place. Yeah, it was an Ort beschreibt. Yeah, that will be wo, where. Yeah, woher. Yeah, from where. Woher means from where. Then we have wohin, to where. Yeah, so wo, woher, wohin. So wo is where, woher is from where, and wohin is to where. Yeah, then we have wie. Yeah, wie means how. Yeah, how. We feel and we feeler. Yeah, we feel means how much and we feeler means how many. Yeah, that is just subdivisions of we. Then we have mit wem. Yeah, not mit, mit wem. Yeah, mit wem. That means with whom. Yeah, with whom. So now you know all the basic W-Frages. Yeah, so can we say it in a rhythm? That is was, wann, warum, welche, wo, woher, wohin, wie feel, wie feeler, and mit wem. Okay, now we know the meaning of all of that. So let us make some basic questions. Yeah, let's make W-Frages. Yeah, okay, so let's start with the most basic stuff that you're going to ask a random person. What is their name? Yeah, what is your name? You can ask that in two different ways, as you know. one in a formal way and also in an informal way. First, we are going to look at a formal and then we are going to look at an informal. Yeah? Or just keep it simple, we are going to just look at the formal ones. Yeah? So, formal, we are going to ask somebody, what is your name? So, name in German, we say it as Name. Yeah? Name. Not name, Name. So, what is your name? Yeah. So what we're gonna say? Was. Yeah. Was is, you're gonna put it as ist ihr Name. Ja. Was ist Ihr Name? Ja. Was ist Ihr Name? Yeah. And you need an answer for that question now. You're gonna answer it as, because the question is was ist Ihr Name, you're gonna answer it like mein Name. Yeah, my name is. Yeah, mein Name ist. Mein Name ist Abhishek. Yeah, so ich heiße Abhishek. You can also ask the question like that. Wie heißen Sie? Yeah, how are you called? What is your name in another way? Yeah, you're gonna ask it like wie heißen Sie? Yeah, or the perfect translation for that is how are you called? How are you called? Yeah, there you're gonna put it as ich heiße. Yeah, ich heiße Abhishek. Yeah, ich heiße Abhishek. So if you're asked was ist Ihr Name, you'll be answering mein Name ist Abhishek. If you're asked wie heißen Sie, you're gonna ask you're gonna answer ich heiße Abhishek. Yeah. So now you know how to ask somebody's name. Then if it is relevant, you can ask them how old they are. Yeah. So how are you going to ask their age? Let's say you want to ask somebody for some reason how old they are. Yeah. Then you're going to ask wie alt. Yeah. With alt. Yeah. Age. Age, you're going to ask wie alt. Yeah. Age, the correct word for age is alter. Alter, but we are not going to use the er part, we are just going to use alt. Yeah, we are going to use alt. Yeah, how are you going to say how in German? Wie. Wie alt sind Sie? Wie alt sind Sie? Yeah, or wie alt bist du? If you want to ask in an informal way, you're going to ask wie alt bist du? Yeah. Answer will be like ich bin, I am. Yeah, ich bin. I'm not gonna tell you my real age. Ich bin 20 Jahre alt. Ja, ich bin 20 Jahre alt. Ich bin 20 Jahre alt. I'm 20 years old. Yeah. So you're gonna put I am. And you're going to put whatever your age is and you're going to say Jahre alt, years old. Yeah, Jahre alt. Now you know how to ask a name, how to ask their age. Then let's say, let's ask. Yeah, let's ask where are you from? Yeah, where are you from? Woher kommen Sie? Woher kommen Sie? Ja, woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Indien. Yeah, the answer will be like ich komme aus. I come from. Yeah, I am from. Yeah, it will be like ich komme aus Indien. Woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Indien. Or whichever country you are from, you can say that country's name. Okay, and for some reason you want to be really specific and you want to ask them wo wohnen Sie? Yeah, kommen is to come from a country and wohnen is to come from a specific place or a city. You're going to ask them woher. You're not going to use woher. Yeah, wo. You're going to just use wo. Wo wohnen Sie? Yeah, Wo wohnen Sie? Yeah, wo wohnen Sie? And the answer will be like, ich wohne. Yeah, so ich wohne ich wohne in Kerala. Ja, ich komme aus Indien und wohne in Kerala. Ja, so ich wohne in Kerala. Ich wohne in Kerala oder ich wohne in Bangalore. Ich wohne in Delhi. So whatever place you come from, you're gonna name that secondly. Yeah. Okay, now you know their name, their age, where they come from, where they live. Yeah. And there is one more question that you can ask them, like, let's say, what do you do for job? Was sind Sie von Beruf? Yeah. Was sind Sie von Beruf? What are you doing for a job? Yeah, like what are you doing professionally? That will be the translation of that. Yeah. Was sind Sie von Beruf? Yeah. So we can answer the question like ich bin, whatever your profession is. So I'm gonna list it as ich bin ein Sprachlehrer von Beruf. Ich bin ein Sprachlehrer von Beruf. I'm a language teacher professionally. Yeah. Ich bin ein Sprachlehrer von Beruf. Okay, now you know their name, their age, where they live, where they come from, and what do they do professionally. Yeah, that will be our main focus when you do a Sich Fosteren. Yeah, you can also add how many languages you know, how many of them do you speak, what is your mother tongue, and your hobbies. Yeah, I'll teach you now how to ask for your hobbies. Yeah, you can add that in your Sich Fosteren as well. Okay, so Sich, you're not there yet. Yeah, so hobby, we can ask them like, was sind ihre Hobbys? Yeah, was sind ihre Hobbys? Was sind ihre Hobbys? So if you just have one hobby, you're gonna say like, mein Hobby ist malen. Yeah, malen means to draw. If you're like an artist or a painter, something you can use either zeichnen or malen. Yeah, zeichnen, that means to draw. Malen also means to draw and paint. So you can use either of them. So I'm going to use malen here because it is simple. So you can adapt to it really well. Yeah, mein Hobby ist malen. Yeah, malen. So if you have multiple hobbies, so I'm gonna say my list of hobbies. So meine Hobbys sind, yeah, we're going into the plural phases. Meine Hobbys sind malen, Musik hören, ja, Musik hören, dann keine Film sehen, kochen, essen. Was sind meine Hobbys? Ja? Und backen. Ja. Ich backe. Ich backe Kuchen. Ich backe viele Sachen. Ja? Ich mag backen und gucken. Ja? So meine Hobbys sind malen, Musik hören, kochen, essen und backen. Yeah, so these are my hobbies. I love to cook, I love to bake, and I love to eat them, whatever I cook and bake, and I love listening to music. Yeah, so that is my list of hobbies. So whatever your list of hobbies, schreib's in the kommentare. Yeah, so now you have all the elements that you need to create a Sich Fosteren. Yeah, so I'm going to teach you how you can introduce yourself in German. Okay, so write a heading that is Sich Fosteren. Okay, so the question will be like, bitte stellen Sie kurz vor. Or it is going to be like, können Sie bitte sich vorstellen? Yeah, he can ask you anything with the vorstellen, and you're going to answer with your self-introduction. Yeah, so always begin with your name. So you can either use mein Name ist or ich heiße. I personally use the Ich heiße one. Ich heiße Abhishek. Ich heiße Abhishek. Then I'm gonna tell my age, ja? Ich bin 20 Jahre alt. Ich bin 20 Jahre alt. Ich komme aus Indien, ja? Ich komme aus Indien. Ich komme aus Indien. Und ich wohne in Kerala. Ich wohne in Kerala. Ich bin ein Sprachlehrer von Beruf. Ich bin ein Sprachlehrer von Beruf. Meine Hobbys sind, I'm gonna just copy paste, yeah. Malen, Musik hören, kochen, essen und backen, yeah. And once you have told all the relevant information about you, you're gonna just give a conclusion. Yeah, that is going to be like, ja, das ist alles über mich. Vielen Dank. Ja, das ist alles über mich. Vielen Dank. Okay, now you know all the W-Frages, the meaning to all the W-Frages, how to form a question with a W-Frage, how to ask somebody their name, their age, where they come from, where they live, what their hobbies are, what do they do professionally, all those things. And then now you know how to do a sich vorstellen, yeah, how to introduce yourself in German. Really good. Yeah, so homework for today is just ask these questions to somebody or practice with your friends, practice doing sich vorstellen, do it in front of a mirror if you're not scared of that, of course, yeah. And be full of confidence when you do your sich vorstellen, yeah. And practice makes perfect, so repeat it as much as possible. Do it every day, every night, every noon, yeah. Repeat it as much as possible. So that's it for this video. And in the next video, we are going to look at some more interesting German grammar stuff. We are going to slowly get into the grammar stuff. We are going to look at some interesting. So, bis bald. Ciao.